everyone. Happy Easter week. I am going to make a carrot cake smoothie for you today. And I love this smoothie because I love the carrots and I love how sweet it is. It's definitely a sweeter smoothie, but I actually don't even call it a smoothie. I call it a blended salad because there are quite a few veggies in it. So we're going to pack it in with some awesome superfoods and let's get started. So we're going to do something fun with this one. We're going to make it a little bit chunky because carrot cake usually has some chunks of carrot in it. And I want this smoothie to taste and have the texture of a little bit thicker, a little bit more like cake-like. So we're going to take a carrot and we're going to take about half of the carrot and we're going to put it in the blender first. And we're going to make it shredded. You can use the food processor or you can shred this by hand, but I just think it's really quick and easy to just throw it in the blender. And so I'm just gonna do that really fast I'm just gonna put it on low and I'm just gonna have it shred the carrot for me. And then we're gonna set it aside. See how quick that was? And I don't even care if there are a few flakes that are left in the blender, but you can see that it just makes just a little bit of some shredded carrot, and we're gonna add that to our smoothie at the end so that we have that fun kind of more carrot cake-like texture. All right, so we're gonna put that in a bowl and set it aside. And like I said, I'm not gonna worry about leaving a few extra carrots in the blender because it's gonna get blended up. All right, so set that aside. Like I said, I'm calling this more of a blended salad. So we're gonna add some superfoods to this salad and we're going to make it so yummy you can hardly even tell that some of these ingredients are in here. The first thing we're gonna add is some white beans. These are a low sodium white bean. It's in a BPA-free can, and I'm gonna add about 2/3 of a cup of white beans. I know, beans, holy cow. You'll never know it's in there. It makes it nice and thick, and beans are so incredibly healthy for us. Beans are so high in fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber. And so the fiber is going to be super beneficial for us, and it's also going to help thicken the smoothie. Beans also have an amazing ability to help any other carbohydrates that we're eating in the same meal and in the following meal to not be absorbed into the bloodstream and cause insulin spikes. So beans are definitely a superfood. All right, so now we are going to add the next one. So that's our protein, super high in protein, awesome protein. All right, we're gonna add some plant milk. So I choose some cashew milk, but you can add whatever plant milk you want. And I'm gonna do about 2/3 of a cup. I don't wanna make this too thin. We want it to be just a little bit thick. So a lot of times I'll add about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of liquid to my smoothies or blended salads, but this time I'm only gonna add about 2/3 to 3/4 of a cup. All right, the other fun ingredient that we're gonna add is about 1/4 cup of carrot juice. Of course, it's carrot cake smoothie, so we're gonna add the carrot juice to it. And that's just gonna boost up that yummy carrot flavor. So I'm gonna add a celery stick and I'm gonna cut it just a little bit so that we don't get any long strings. My Vitamix does a pretty good job of getting rid of and blending things up. But if you don't have quite as powerful a blender, you just wanna cut across those grains so that you don't have any long strings in your smoothie. So we're gonna add that celery. I like to add one of the more inner celery stalks. They're just a little more tender and a little bit more sweet. All right, the next thing we're gonna add are a couple of romaine lettuce leaves. These are, again, a little bit more towards the center, not quite the outside green ones. And they're nice and crisp. You can hear that. All right, so there's our romaine lettuce. Did you know that romaine has protein in it? Who knew? Another great protein source. Okay, so we've got our celery, our carrots. Oh, I didn't add carrots. Here is about a cup of carrots, but the other half of the carrot, remember, we blended at the beginning. So we're gonna add, that's about 1.5 really large carrots. Next thing we're gonna add is some cucumber. Cucumber is fabulous, lots of water. It's a great diuretic. So if you have problem with some water weight, cucumber is a great natural diuretic. It also doesn't taste like anything in a smoothie. So it's a great thing to add. So we're gonna add 1 small or about half of a large cucumber. All right, the other secret superfood ingredient is frozen cauliflower. Now, a lot of times people like to add ice cubes to their smoothies or blended salads. I like to add cauliflower because you still get that frozen like you do from the ice, the nice cold, but it's packed full of nutrients. So we're gonna add about 1/2 cup of frozen cauliflower. All right, so that's all of our veggies that we're gonna add. So now let's add some spice. So it's more like a cross between a carrot cake and a spice cake. So I love adding lots of spice. So we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Lots of good ground cinnamon. All right, and then we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Now, cinnamon is fabulous for, we've talked about this before, but cinnamon is so good for your blood pressure, for your heart. Cinnamon has so many amazing, wonderful properties to it. Nutmeg makes it taste yummy. All right, and then we're just gonna add just a tiny bit of allspice, just about 1/4 teaspoon, not quite 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Now, I love vanilla. Vanilla is gonna make this taste a lot more like a cake as well. So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. That'll be really good. And you can always add more if you want to. All right, let's see what comes next. Oh, so what are we gonna use to sweeten it? So I'm gonna put in about 2/3 of a banana. So that's a frozen banana. And I'm also, for a natural sweetener, I'm gonna add some dates. So this one I've already pitted, and these are 2 small dates, so I'm gonna put in 2. Normally the medjool dates are nice and fat and big, and I usually only put about 1 in, but this time we're gonna add 2 because they were a little bit smaller. The other thing I'm gonna use, which is another superfood, is some pomegranate juice concentrate, and we're only going to add about 1/2 tablespoon of the pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice has so many fabulous antioxidants, so good for us, pomegranates, and it also is going to be a really great sweetener. Now, to thicken it, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of oat flour. That'll also give it a nice thickness like cake. And we're going to add flaxseed. There's our omega-3s. We want those good healthy fats, not from oil, because that's extracted, that's processed. So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of flax seeds. It's also gonna help thicken it the more it sits. And then 1 tablespoon of, these are raw hemp seeds. Hemp seeds, another superfood, they are actually a perfect ratio of omega-3 and omega-6 fats. And so you want that perfect ratio. And they also have all of the amino acids, all of the proteins. It's a really good protein. So love adding hemp seeds. All right, I think that was everything that we needed just for our base. So I'm going to go ahead, this will get loud for just a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna add at the end. That is so loud, sorry about that. All right, now if it's not quite sweet enough for you, because it should be sweet, so taste it and see Oh, that's got a really good flavor. If it's not quite sweet enough, you can always add another date. Or I also use pure monk fruit powder. It has zero effect on your glucose. So it's a great way to add a bit of sweetness without affecting blood sugar and without adding extra calories. And you need just a tiny, tiny bit. So just tap a little bit in there and it'll help to sweeten it up just a little bit too. I'm gonna add our shredded carrots. All right, and I'm gonna add a nice big tablespoon of golden raisins. I don't know about you, but my grandmother's cake had raisins in it, and that made it special. Okay, I'm also going to add, to give it more of that kind of chewy cake-like, I'm gonna add about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of oats, raw oats. And just for fun, I'm gonna take a couple of pecans and I'm just gonna crumble them into the smoothie. This is gonna make a nice, thick, fabulous blended salad. All right, we'll add a little bit more on top and mix that in. And now I can just slowly enjoy my cake for breakfast. Who says you can't have cake for breakfast? Oh, so good. Okay, well, if you make it, I hope you make it. And I hope you'll put a comment below what you thought, and enjoy Easter this week. And think about all of the amazing, wonderful things that come alive, including our spirits. I think there should be a renewal of spirit every Easter. So I wish you a happy Easter and enjoy your carrot cake for breakfast. See you soon.